space for your cup of couture. Hey, the Bootsy Cafe.
Hi, this is Bari Ackerman from Bari J here for Boutique Cafe with Amy Butler. I have a few things to ask her, and then she's going to tell us all about the wonderful things that she's doing. I bet you are.
I've got a pretty full plate. No, really, I just want to sort of concentrate on what's on my plate right now. And I've had so much growth over the last 18 months, and it really turns a small business, on its toes, because it's a lot to adjust, the flow of things. And I'm really excited about the products that I'm working on right now, and several of the relationships have a couple deliveries a year, so now I'm kind of in a place where I'm balancing out timing and my creative time and development, and I just want to get in a good groove and enjoy it. So right now I'm holding steady.
Everybody also wanted to know how you got your start and what your education is.
Oh yeah, I went to art school. I went to the Columbus College of Art and Design in Columbus, Ohio, and I graduated in 1988. That's a while ago. But so I graduated with a degree in fashion and textile design and retail advertising. So it was a small liberal arts school, and it was a very comprehensive education. First 2 years are like core color and design, and then the last 2 years is focused on your primary interests. So I graduated with a fashion portfolio, and I interviewed in New York, and I interviewed at Hallmark Cards, and I ended up going to Hallmark Cards for 4 years. And that's the only job I've had besides working for myself with David. And we moved back to Ohio in 1992, and he's a graphic designer, illustrator, photographer. We just kind of have pulled our skills together, kind of, real hands-on, down and dirty. Some for self-preservation and creativity, and we've just slowly built our studio up. And then Amy Butler was just sort of a natural evolution from my passions for sewing and craft, print, and design, from different opportunities that kind of lined up, and I just sort of took a chance with the sewing patterns, and then the fabric followed soon after, and I've just been blessed with being embraced by so many people that are kind of into the same things I'm into, really have connected with my design and my color ideas, and it's inspiring them to make things, which is the best thing for me. And I think that's how everything has sort of grown and blossomed and has evolved into a brand, sort of kinetically. It definitely wasn't a business plan or anything, but just time and opportunity and just sort of trying things out. I think that's kind of how it's all coming together.
Since you mentioned color, that was one of the questions that people asked, was do you look at trend forecasts of color, and do you have any predictions for color?
I don't look at trend forecasts for color, but I look at a lot of international magazines, and I do, any kind of color inspiration I see that I love, I just sort of save things, and when I do my artwork, I create color story panels. This kind of comes from art school and working at Hallmark and stuff, and trained to make design study boards. So I just make these huge piles of color stories, and some of it's magazine tears from international magazines, or sometimes it's just color reference or a photo from flowers in my garden or whatever it is. And you just sort of, as a designer and artist, you have this sort of sixth sense about putting colors together. And then that's how I build my palette. So I do look at international magazines, because I think Europe and Asia and other countries are a little bit ahead of us in terms of color interpretation, and I just love color. So, I think that kind of in and of itself sort of can make some of my palettes more current or maybe trend focused, but it's not a conscious decision to be on trend. It just sort of happens that way from the way I look at color, I think.
Oh, this is a good question. From all of your fabric lines, which was your favorite fabric line?
Oh gosh.
Or do you have a favorite?
It's hard, because there's certain prints from certain lines that are my favorite. From Lotus, the lace work is one of my favorite patterns, and
One of my favorite patterns.
it's repeating itself in a lot of things. It's in a rug right now. It's in a wallpaper design. So for me, that's one of my favorite prints. But collection-wise, I tend to sort of get super jazzed about the one that's on its way, the one I'm promoting, and because I'm passionately entwined with it, or the artwork that I'm working on now. So I'm working on a spring line now, and then promoting the Soul Blossom. So I'm kind of having an affair with both of them. So yeah, I kind of get into the most current one.
And the other question they had was, pretty interesting because I wouldn't have thought to ask you, which is your least favorite. Did you have a least favorite? Was there anything you ever went, I liked that at the time, and now I'm kind of over it, or something like to that effect?
Well, I think, you know, it's like buying an outfit that you I mean, I really do love all the lines for different reasons, and I definitely love some more than others. And I just thought, you know, as an experiment, things, you know, you change your interests and passions, you're inspired at different times, and I guess right now, if I had to put my finger on something that was one of my lesser favorite lines, but I still loved it, was more modern, just because it was more graphically simple. And I'm really a layering girl, so, but with that line, it was all about layering the prints to get the texture, and with a lot of my prints that I'm doing now, there's a lot going on within the prints, so, you know, you just shift and your interests change.
Let's just talk about Soul Blossoms.
Soul Blossoms,
Yeah, and the rest of what you have going on.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, this is interesting, this Quilt Market, because it's the first time that we've sold on paper. So my sweet husband David has been printing out the pattern books. I have the artwork, I can show you the notebooks for the last 3 weeks, so that the sale tables here at the show have beautiful artwork to look at. So,
you don't want people
so they're here, they made
the
it.
guy
And
tied
then
up the
we're
scissor
taking the designs, and the whole back side of my booth is all quilt blossoms, soul blossoms, and so these are a combination of designs from my home deck and the quilting collection. And then because I didn't have fabric, I had a conundrum of like, how do I start to, you know,
Attention
give people
please,
ideas.
Exhibitors. International Quilt Market is now open
Welcome
for the
to Quilt
day.
Market.
We are
We're
open
open.
for the day.
Get ready for that. So we decided to take photographs of muslins. These are garments that I have in progress, new patterns I'm working on. So I have the muslin bodies all over the studio. So I had the girls come in and put on the muslins, and we photographed them on a white backdrop. And then David photoshopped in my prints and graphically introduced some of the designs to make the imagery for the promotion. And people have really, they've really been excited. It's a whole different kind of look. It's been fun. But I'm all about trying to give people ideas on how to envision the fabric, how to use it, you know, how to put things together. So that was a fun process. And then my friend Amy Hamilton, who is a milliner from Granville, she's a major talent, she's wonderful. She made all these paper flowers for me. So she kind of interpreted her, you know, what she does with silk for her hats. She kind of applied the same technique to the paper. So we just printed off a bunch of paper for her, and she made all the different flowers for the booth. And then I have, you know, as we were talking about earlier, I've expanded into other fibers. So I'm a Rowan designer, and I'm a big knitter. So I have a brand new yarn collection. This is my Midwest Modern Knits. It's my Bell, Aran, and DK weight fibers. It's all organic. It's 50% cotton, 50% wool. Then it has a beautiful hand. The weight of it's gorgeous, and it's a trans-seasonal fiber. So
How soft it is.
It's
I
great
heard
for any season.
through the grapevine that it's incredibly soft, and it
Yes,
is.
yeah,
It is.
thank you. Yeah, it's I'm really pleased with the way it turned out.
The word people used was luscious.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Luscious is good. That's wonderful.
And the colors are too.
Thank you.
Colors are too.
Yeah, a lot of the colors are pulled from my fabric palettes. So when we shot the brochure and the project book at our house this January, and we set up a studio thing, and so we pulled in a lot of my love fabrics and some of the other designs and coordinated with the knit so people can kind of combine the home workers with some of the sewing things that they're doing. Because we all like to cross-craft.
Yeah, we do. I also heard about it's Snow and Graham, or no?
Oh, Graham and Brown, the wallpaper.
The wallpaper, Graham and Brown.
Yes, that's really exciting. Graham and Brown is a UK-based wallpaper manufacturer. And thanks, Mallory. And we just launched the collection at the ICFF in New York last week. And it's beautiful paper. It's all eco. It's printed sustainably. And it's 36 different prints. I developed 6 different color palettes, and each one I have coordinating prints so that people can land on a palette they feel comfortable with and get creative with combining the prints in their space.
Are these? Some of them are taken from your fabric designs, but it looks like maybe some of them aren't.
Yeah, there's a combination. This is actually primarily, most of them are from my fabric designs, some historical designs that I've done. This was from Forest, from way back when. This is Temple Tulips from my current Soul Blossoms line. This is Cotton Blossom that I'm used in my bedding and also in some of my papers and fabrics for my fashion bags. And then this is the gray lacework pattern that I was talking about earlier that's made its way into Wallpaper. But that's something else I tried to coordinate the palettes with the paper with some of the fabric palettes too, so people can really build their nest with the different prints in the paper and also the fabrics. So I'm really tickled about that.
Great.
And
is there anything coming up that you want to tell us about?
This is hot off the press. This is new.
That's the big one, huh?
And I've got four new sewing patterns. I've got the raincoat patterns from last market that were really popular for mom and little girls. And then I have the Honey Bun Poufs, which are super fun. You can make these, you can piece the fabric together, or you can make the poufs with one single print. This is Bari J from Love. And then when I pieced it together, it actually makes its own beautiful, unique print, which was kind of a happy accident, because these came together right before the show.
Oh, so those weren't fussy cut. Those were...
No, it's the fussy cut a little bit, but the print, the way the print repeats actually allows you to match it up pretty quickly. Yeah.
Well, it's absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for talking to me. I really appreciate it. Thanks. Bye, Boutique Cafe readers.
Bye.
Thank you.
Love you, Daria. Thank you.
Boutique Cafe.